Hi guys, so today we are going to now move on after you've done your tonal gradient and your blending of two colors as well. We're going to go ahead and create a sphere, and on that sphere we're going to blend two warm colors and also two secondary colors, two cool colors as well. So over here I've got you should get a little piece of sphere as well, or piece of paper. We're not painting on this, so don't paint on top of that, it's not going to take it. What you want to do is just scribble, you can scribble all the way around or just scribble enough so that it covers the circle around where the trace should go. Once you've scribbled around it, pick a section. You're going to create two of these spheres. I'm just going to do one. You want to create two because you're going to do one for warm colors and the other one will be for secondary. Put your hand, rest your hand one side of the paper, and then use your pencil section by section by tracing around that sphere. It shouldn't be so tricky because we've done this for a color wheel already. This one should be nice and easy, okay? And I want you to hold on to the sphere and don't throw it in the bin, don't leave it on your tables because you're going to need this later on, okay? So just hold on to it. Once you've done that, that's going to be one. I'd like you to go ahead and do another one as well. I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to move on to blending two harmonious colors together, two warm harmonious colors, and I'm just going to pick these two colors I've already used. You can use different ones if you like. I'm just going to go ahead and use that orange. So starting off with that orange, I'm going to take a nice generous amount, and I'm going to start off by holding it like a pen, twisting it and creating that nip, and that tip is just going to go ahead and help us kind of create some accuracy. By holding your paintbrush like a pen, you're able to really have good accuracy with your sphere. And all I'm going to do now is just fizzle it out. You can take it as much as you like, just watch my demonstration and then choose how you want to do yours. I'm going to stop here, wash my paintbrush. This is really important that you do this, we did this before. Wash your paintbrush and tap that extra water off. You don't want too much water here. You can have a little bit, but not too much water, not for this section. And I'm just going to go back in and I'm going to just get that color to go less intense. And how do we do that? By adding more water. We just get that color to be a little bit lighter. Now if you don't have watercolor paper, I suggest you don't spend too much time adding water to your paper. Just don't go back and forth. What will then happen is that your paper will start to fray. I'm going to wash my paintbrush again and then just continue making it even lighter, just making that color a little bit more pale. And I'm just going to go back in and just kind of blend it out. Now as I'm doing that, what you don't want is that to happen. If that happens, just wash your paintbrush, tap it dry and take off that extra water and scoop it upwards. And you can fade it. What you really want it to do is just get that nice gradual intense color going lighter and lighter and lighter. Now before I move on to my red, I am going to visit that orange again and just going to pile it on just to make sure that color is nice and vibrant, nice and bright. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to stop, wash my paintbrush, tap it dry. Remember, don't want too much water here. And I'm just going to fade it outwards. And look how I'm using a bit of a circular motion just to help me blend. And I'm going to just kind of give it a rest now. Stop. You can continue blending similar to how we do with HB pencils and color pencils as well. You can add as many layers. I'm going to stop, and what I'm going to do is turn my paper around. It's going to help me angle this a bit better. I suggest you do the same. It will help you to kind of create accuracy in your work, especially because you're working with a 3D form. You don't want to be, sorry guys, the light's really bad. You don't want it to go outside the circle or outside the outline, so all I'm going to do is the same thing. If your work is still wet, that's okay. Just rest your arm on your hand outside of where the paint is wet and just carefully start one section at a time. I don't suggest you do make a big swoosh. Don't recommend that. Just do small sections at a time and it will build your confidence to do the whole thing. And then once that's done, I'm just going to go ahead, just kind of get that outline the way I want it to be. Move the paper, it will help you to kind of form the accuracy that you want. I'm going to stop here, wash my paintbrush, tap it dry, go back in, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. And as I'm doing that, I'm also going to go back in with my outline. and just connect that together. And on the edge here as well. And we're pretty much done here, guys. I'm going to wash my paintbrush before I take it anywhere further. I'm just going to just make sure all that section is kind of blended together. Once it is, then it's your choice. You can leave it as that, or you can go in, back in, and just kind of drop in some more pigment there, just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Like so. But remember, you don't want to take that colour all the way down. Wash your paintbrush, tap it dry. Don't have too much water here, because otherwise it will leave puddles on your work. And you can leave it like this. I would always suggest less is more. Just leave it alone after a while, and your colour should be blended. So if you don't like that blob, wash your paintbrush, really tap out as much water as possible so that you can move that paint around. And guys, I would say leave it as that. And play around with it if you want, especially if you've got watercolour paper, play around with it, and you should have this sphere done, which is of two harmonious colours, warm harmonious colours, orange and red, and you should be done. I want you to do the same thing for cool colours as well. Have fun!